Howdy guys, this is Nick from JangaFX, the CEO and founder. We're here, finally, 2022, the live stream. We're going to go over our plans for what's happening, and I hope you all enjoy it. The stream's going to be pretty quick. We're not going to show too much software stuff or anything. It's mostly going to be some slides and a quick presentation. But yeah, we won't take too much of your time, but we do want to let you guys know what's going on for 2022. And if my voice is a bit weird, I apologize. I've been sick for like a month, but trying to get over some bronchitis. Anyway, so let's go ahead and hop into it and talk about EmberGen first off. So here's our plans for EmberGen for 2022. And I'm going to just kind of go over the bullet points and describe them. I also want to mention that everything that we're saying is tentative. We don't want to lock ourselves in to these things for sure because we never know what's going to happen with software development. But these are the things that we think are going to happen in 2022. And we hope to do more regular updates for EmberGen instead of doing what we did last year where you didn't get an update for like a year. And so we want to do it maybe every couple of months. We release a fairly nice patch and that kind of thing as we work our way up to 1.0. So anyway, one of the big things we're going to work on is improving the workflow for imports. And part of that is like scaling and timing consistency between DCCs. We know that there's a huge problem right now where if you bring in a mesh or whatever, it might not be the scale that you wanted it to be, or it's not lining up whenever you export your VDBs or your images or whatever. Just scaling is just completely off. There's nothing that you can do about it right this second, and everybody's kind of up in arms about it, and rightfully so, I think. And so we're going to make sure that we improve our imports, and then part of that is kind of streamlining how you import things, whether it's vector fields or Alembics or cameras or whatever. We want to make sure that that import workflow is really nice and that we kind of have more of a seeing everything as assets rather than individual nodes and that sort of thing. And so yeah, the next thing is improving the export workflow. Right now, exports are kind of like a hairy thing, right? You have like your render node, and then you have a bunch of different image nodes or whatever, or you have your VDB node, that kind of thing, and it's not really consistent. And whenever you have all your different passes in the render node, you have the ability to change like different parameters and stuff like that, but it's not really coherent, right? And it's kind of hard to understand what's going on. It's hard to manage like multiple nodes at the same time. So we're doing like a complete rework of the exports. We also know that there's some issues right now where for some people, VDB exports are crashing, and like LDR or HDR stuff isn't coming out completely the way that you would expect it to, stuff like that. So we're kind of revamping the entire export workflow, and we're going to make sure that we get it right because it is probably the most important piece of the software. The next thing is improved particle workflow, or rather improved particle support. So right now, like if you have a particle shape emitter, you can have like 64 particles, and that's not really good. You might need counts in the thousands. And so one thing that we're trying to do is make it so that any particle can be an emitter. Any particle can be used as GPU particles, that kind of thing. And we want to kind of merge those different things together. And then like within that, being able to say export particles themselves as your simulation or whatever to Alembic or whatever file format we determine is best. So we want to really just improve our particle support. GPU particles and stuff have been experimental for a really long time. And so we want to kind of get those a little bit more out of the experimental state, make sure that we have things like proper sorting with GPU particles and volumetrics. That's something that we've been working on. And so we hope to get that support kind of up and out the door. The next big thing is sparse simulations. So with sparse simulations, basically imagine dynamic bounds, but on steroids. We understand that, whenever your smoke and stuff like that hits the edge, kind of sucks, and you might be maxed out on VRAM or whatever. So with our sparse simulations, the idea is that only where there's content inside the voxels is where memory will be allocated. And hopefully this will give you a speed up for most simulations, and it will also ensure that there's almost technically no bounds. And right now we have gotten it to where we're able to support about 2 billion voxels in real time with our lightweight renderer. We don't know if we'll be able to support that many once we add in all of our extra features, because EmberGen is quite heavy in that regard. But it is something that we have been able to achieve internally right this second, and so we're hoping that we can still meet that goal of handling up to 2 billion voxels. So then the next thing is retiming support. Retiming is really, really important. People are like, why is there hertz, 60 hertz instead of FPS? Why can't I just have 24 FPS? Well, the way that our timeline and stuff is built, it's quite difficult to, match the simulation of those types of things. And it takes a lot of work for us to be able to do something like retiming. But we are working on it. Our goal is to get it done this year. And I really hope it's done this year. But it is a really complex task for us because of how we've built the software and things like that. And we kind of have to undo some things so that we can make retiming support a thing. But we know that you want 24 FPS or 30 FPS or 28.9 or whatever you tend to use for your projects or whatever. And so, and then also, maybe you want an explosion to be slow at first, or compress like the first 2 seconds of an explosion into 0.5 seconds, and then the rest is, normal speed or something like that to make it really explosive. So retiming encompasses, quite a few different things, and it's something that we really want to support, going forward this year. Another big one is a C4D plugin through our partnership with Otoy. A couple years ago, we partnered up with Otoy, and the idea from the beginning was to do a plugin for Octane. And then through that, naturally, that because Octane works inside of everything, basically any other DCC, EmberGen would work inside of any other DCC. And so we're getting to the point now where we are making some fairly good progress on our plugin stuff with Otoy. It's been a pretty long road, and a lot of it's been on us so that we could actually get the code and stuff to them in a state to where it's usable. We still don't have any concrete promises of when it's going to happen, but we do hope that it would be this year, and we are making really good progress on it. This is still tentative, but our initial goal is making sure that it works with Cinema 4D, and we're going to make sure that we do our best to get that done with them. We don't know if it'll be completely integrated or if it's going to be more of a bridge or whatever, but it will be more integrated than it currently is with our standalone. So overall, it'll be a really good thing, and that's something that we're working on with Otoy. And then I guess just to dispel whatever, we were never acquired by anybody. We're still our own separate company. Maxon never bought us or anything, so I know that people say that all the time. So just mentioning that we're still our own standalone. So yeah. Okay. The next big thing, we sent out a survey the other day, and because we got 100 responses, we posted some stuff about LiquiGen, which we'll go over here in a bit too on the next slide. But we're going to be doing tons of tutorials and training content. And then as a side bit to that, make sure you check out docs.jangafx.com. We have incredible documentation that we're working on, and it's only going to get better. Right now I don't have a video or a link to it or whatever, unfortunately, but we're even revamping what we currently have with tons of videos showing lots of different parameters and what it means to have different vorticities and stuff like that. And we want to make sure that you have a good reference for the parameters that you're using and things like that right within our documentation. And so it's going to be really awesome. And then for tutorials and training content, we're going to make like 5 to 10 minute videos. How to make an explosion, how to, perfect your emission, how to, deal with combustion, how to use volume modulation. So some really quick fire tutorials to make sure that you get up and running as quickly as possible, so that you don't have to watch our, 2-hour, powwow on making explosions and stuff like that. So yeah. The next thing, Mac and Linux support. This is a big tentative one. We already have Linux stuff to some degree internally, but there were some problems with the actual operating system that prevented us from releasing that with 0.7.5. And I don't know if those have gotten sorted yet. I haven't heard much from the team on that, but Mac and Linux support is a big priority for us this year, and we want to work towards that. We don't know if it's going to happen because there's a lot of unknowns with it, but we do want to focus on that, and we do understand that a massive amount of people want support for those 2 operating systems. So we'll see. And then finally, EmberGen 1.0. And then we have tentatively in parentheses. We're going to do everything that we can to aim for EmberGen 1.0. What does that mean for you? It means that presets are going to work, from there on out, and we're hopefully, I really hope, not going to break them anymore. Because after 0.7.5, and we release like another big update, like with our sparse stuff, presets are going to break again. So yeah, we want to make sure that 1.0 gets out this year, but we can't guarantee it. But what does 1.0 mean? 1.0 means that we have Mac and Linux support. It means that we have retiming support. It means that we have sparse simulations, our improved exports, our improved imports, scaling consistency, our sparse simulations, the particles, everything. Like everything that you see on this list, it all has to be in 1.0. So if we can get all of this stuff done, then it'll be released. If not, then probably 2023 is when 1.0 would come out. So that's about it for EmberGen right this second. One other thing I do want to mention is that we do want to start doing some things in game engines and stuff like that, and trying to figure out, hey, is it possible for us to build a bridge between Unreal or Unity and have these volumetrics and stuff running in real time in the game engine? I don't know when we will be able to start that kind of research. We need to hire some more employees for that. But it is something that's on our radar, and we do want to put some resources behind that. So that's that. All right. LiquiGen. Pretty short on this. We're not going to announce a definitive timeline. We don't know. Information on features is going to be sparse on purpose so that we can limit the expectations of what the tool is or what it will do. People, they want oceans and rivers and this and that and whatever, and we would like that too, but we don't know what's going to be possible, especially in real time. The goal with our company is to build tools that are real time. And so for now, our current target is going to be splashes and splatters, small simulations like a bottle breaking and the liquid coming out, or blood splats and that kind of thing. And then we're going to have support for VAT exports and like Alembic, the whole flipbook workflow that we have in EmberGen, that kind of thing, image sequences, and make sure that we focus on like those smaller simulations first. We put out a video, which you'll see here in a minute. We put it out last week that shows that, hey, look, we're doing some splatters and splashes and that kind of thing in real time. And so real time is our target, but it's not guaranteed. We're still really early in our R&D for this, but we are allocating a lot of our resources into R&D, and we want to push the envelope on what's possible. In my opinion, for far too long, things for liquids have been way too slow. Who wants to wait 6 to 12 hours or even an hour for this kind of stuff? And then you have to wait forever for the renderer as well. And I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's why we built EmberGen, because I was tired of waiting. This is why we're going to build LiquiGen. Well, because I'm tired of waiting, right? And so we're the ones who's going to do it. So we want it to be real time. And then, of course, we want there to be a really easy workflow. We want the UI to be incredible, right? We want it to be node-based. We want it to be really easy to use. And we want you to be able to hop in, open a preset, do what you need to do, or build something from scratch within a couple of minutes. So the idea is that it's going to be really fast, hopefully, tentatively. And so far, our R&D is going really well. But we're not going to give you a timeline on it. And so, yeah. And yeah, I don't know what more to say about it, but it is officially announced here, and we have officially shown something. And so here's the thing. So here you go. This is our, what we have right this second. It's a direct viewport capture. This is real time. There is no caching. If we moved the emitter in this, it would change and everything. So this is showing gravity and some viscosity and stickiness and stuff like that. So this is kind of like what you can expect. Now, one additional thing is we do hope that we will get our bounds bigger and stuff like that, so that things aren't hitting the bounds and whatnot. But for now, this is just the demo that we had. So yeah. So that is the video, and we'll show it one more time so that you can see again. But yeah, so this is LiquiGen, and information from here on out is going to be pretty sparse. We might show a few things here or there, but for the most part, we're going to kind of keep our mouths shut and show things when they're ready, and then hopefully one day surprise you whenever it's out. But I don't know when that's going to be. So there we go. All right, so finally, what are our plans for JangaFX? Hiring. We plan to double our team size to 30 people over the next year, hopefully. We are starting to become a fairly large company, which honestly I never expected, but here we are. We're doing really well, and because of your support, we are able to do this kind of stuff, which is freaking amazing to me. So if you are a VFX TD or a tech artist in games, or you do simulation, rendering, or tooling programming, or even if you want to do customer support for us or help us with QA, send a CV to jobs@jangafx.com. We don't know when we're going to start hiring just yet, but we really want more people on our team. And if you think that you can help us, send us a resume or a CV or whatever, and we want to hear from you. And so, yeah, right now we're 15 people, and we hope to be 30 by the end of the year. And if not the end of the year, then the end of 2023. So yeah. So next is ensuring the best customer support. Recently, I've been sick a lot, things like that, and then we have Jason on our team helping us with customer support, stuff like that. When tickets got forwarded to me, I kind of dropped a ball on them. So if you're in the chat and I dropped the ball on your ticket or whatever, I'm really sorry, but we want to hire more customer support. The tickets are overwhelming sometimes, but that's okay. That's part of running a company. And so I really want to make sure that we answer you in a timely manner, make sure that we help you when you need help, make sure that we cancel your subscription if you want to do that, whatever, because we don't want to hold you back from that kind of stuff. So we really want to make sure that we have the best customer support possible, and suggestions are always welcome. We want to listen to you. If you have suggestions for us on how to fix our stuff or whatever, tell us. If you want to help us fix the software or whatever, tell us what kind of features you want. We want to listen to you. We want to build our products for you, because that's the whole point, right? We want to make sure that we have great tools. So if you have any suggestions, please email us. You can even have my personal email, nick@jangafx.com. Send it to me, right? Send us your suggestions, and we're going to listen. Most of the stuff that we have now is because we have listened. So there's that. And then throughout our plans, we want to ensure transparency in our EmberGen roadmap, right? Big thing was that, hey, we don't know if 1.0 is going to come out this year, but we really hope it does. And to me, that's transparency, right? We don't want to overpromise and then not deliver or whatever, because that always sucks. And we're still learning as we're developing our software. So yeah, but we want to make sure that we're transparent. And part of being transparent, say with LiquiGen, is just not giving you a date, because we don't know, and that's the truth. so there's that. And then, of course, staying steadfast on our permanent license commitment for standalone products. Everybody else, for the most part out there, doesn't really offer permanent licenses or perpetual licenses. And so we want to make sure that like our wording is clear. When you get an annual license or you pay for 12 months, you can use the software for the rest of your life. I mean, and then also, we have switched to a maintenance model so that after that, if you do want updates, well, you need to buy maintenance or whatever on a yearly basis or whenever you want your maintenance or whatever. But for the most part, I think the important part is that you get your permanent license if that's what you want. And if for whatever reason you don't want to keep paying for maintenance or support us or whatever, great, that's on you. And we're fine with that. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we stick with that and that we don't go to just subscriptions or whatever, because that kind of sucks for the customer. And it would kind of suck in my eyes too if like I was just paying for a subscription or whatever, which if you continue to pay us in that regard, like for maintenance year after year, then it kind of is a subscription, but you do get something for it. So there's that. And then finally, or the two other things are better account management and like an upgrade system. One thing that we have a lot of requests for is, hey, like I can't log into my account after I've purchased, or I really want to like upgrade to the suite or downgrade from the suite or whatever. And we hope that we can give you the tools that you need so that you can perform a lot of these things yourself. And then like for enterprises, managing licensing or like determining who has a lease for the floating licenses like within your account, or who was assigned what key and that kind of thing. So we really want to make sure that we have account management and licensing management both for like indies and enterprises and stuff like that a lot better, because right now honestly it kind of sucks. So we're building out a whole new system for this, and I don't know when it's going to be out, but hopefully we'll have that fairly soon, and we can be able to roll that out so that managing your licenses and stuff like that is a lot easier. And then finally, sometime this year, hopefully, which in a lot of ways this is kind of dependent on 1.0 coming out, because we don't want to launch a preset marketplace if say you buy a bunch of presets from us and then they all break, and well, then that kind of sucks, and then you feel like you got screwed out of something. So we want to make sure that if we do launch our preset marketplace this year, that the presets aren't going to break in the future and that kind of thing. So that's what it's tentative on. But we do have plans for a preset marketplace. We want to be able to give you professionally made like explosions and smoke and fire and steam, or liquid splats or whatever, made by us or even by people in the community, and be able to sell those to you, which I think is really nice, because of course we have all of our presets for the software that we ship with it, but we do want to have like higher fidelity things and stuff like that. And of course, more money is what's going to help us be able to hire those, those 30 total people, or, the 15 extra people that we need. So, so that's about it. That's kind of our plans right this second. I'm going to look through our chat here at some of our questions and see if there's anything. Let's see. We do hope that you'll be able to import multiple objects in the future, but it's kind of a difficult thing. But that's where the import stuff and kind of revamping what we're doing, hopefully we can solve that problem. So yeah. Let's see. C4D plugin is a total dream. Yeah, we hope that it'll be nice. And then also being able to export particles, like you mentioned, to like external renderers. We hope that we'll be able to do that too. So there's that. Let's see. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. I'm just kind of reading through the chat real quick. Yeah, so retiming is going to be important. I think so. Time remapping, same thing. Yep, got to be really great. Plug-in for Unreal, we hope so. Support for Unity, we hope so one day. Any plans for Redshift and C4D? Well, if you, like right now, if you export a VDB from EmberGen. You can already use Redshift if you want. And then if we have our plugin for C4D through Octane or whatever, if you buy that, then I'm sure it would work with Redshift too. There's nothing saying that you would have to use Octane through that plugin, even though that's what it would be integrated into. So yeah, hopefully that would work too. And I know that Otoy is fairly open about, supporting, because I think they just started like supporting Redshift on their render network and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think they would have a problem with Redshift being used as the renderer there for the plugin. So somebody says, I wish Unreal would support VDBs. Don't count on it. VDB is not a very good format for real-time applications. Hopefully we'll come up with our own format for making volumes and stuff in Unreal or Unity. We need more advanced fire, smoke, and dust presets. Maybe, but that's also where our marketplace is going to come in. Yeah, LiquiGen will be sparse. On purpose, confirmed. Yeah, Morton over here making some puns. Any plans to integrate Vectoration and EmberGen, or at least make the UI intuitive? Yes, we do have some internal talks about kind of redoing Vectoration, but honestly, it's one of those things where, well, it doesn't sell many copies of anything. And so we kind of, and of course, like it is part of our suite and stuff like that, so we do want to upgrade it. But it is one of those things that we kind of have to weigh. But we do have ideas to make it better and kind of like revive the product, so to speak. So yeah, we do have plans for that. I just don't really know when. But it is useful for EmberGen in the sense that you can make vector fields, so basically a custom force, and then import that. Let's see. With people asking about multi-GPUs, who knows? Multi-GPU in real time is really difficult regardless. We'd like that, but who knows? It's really difficult. Yes, we do hope to have mesh interactions with LiquiGen. And then, let's see. Somebody said that they wish they'd bought the whole package and not just EmberGen. Well, email us and we can upgrade you. Let's see. Will EmberGen stay standalone? Yes. Our plugins most likely will never be as fully featured or whatever as EmberGen standalone is, and our core focus for ourself is on the standalone. The plugin stuff is going to be handled by Otoy. So it's kind of up to them to whatever they make feature-wise and stuff like that. And I would say just tentatively, like from my own opinion, I don't think that it would be as fully featured as what we offer in the standalone, just because there's limitations on what you can do with plugins, which is why we're standalone in the first place. So... just going through these questions. Is there any way to follow a spline in EmberGen? We kind of do have a spline option through Vorticles, but it's more of like a helix type thing. If you wanted to follow a spline, yeah, we don't really have one just yet, but it is planned. I'm almost at the end now. Multiple animated objects into EmberGen, hopefully, one day. EmberGen and LiquiGen will not interact with each other directly. You will be able to export stuff from LiquiGen or EmberGen to each one, but it probably won't be in the same tool or whatever. We might have a bridge one day, but who knows. I don't know where grain simulations are going to come in. I don't know if that's a separate product or with LiquiGen or EmberGen or whatever. I'd like it, but it's really like a really, really far away thing. It's not even like a priority. More stylized render options is coming for sure. We have a entirely new update for stylized stuff coming up. And Drenner, the multiple animated objects for colliders, it's the same thing. Yeah, if it's imported, if we have multiple things that are imported, then it's just going to work regardless. So as a collider or emitter or whatever. Yes, we're going to make the particle system more robust, as mentioned here in our thing, improve particle support. And so destruction simulations, we have announced a tool for destruction in the past, but I don't know when that would be out. After LiquiGen for sure. So yeah, there you go. That's basically it. The stream here was meant to be pretty quick and kind of lay out our plans for 2022. So this is it. We're gonna put a lot of effort into LiquiGen, and of course we're still putting a lot of effort into EmberGen, and then of course if you want to work with us this year, if you're a VFX 2D tech artist, you want to do QA for us, we really need a QA person more immediately. And with QA, you'd be doing some customer support too. So if you are interested in that and you want to test our software and help with customer support, send a resume or whatever to jobs@JangaFX.com. We're going to be hiring a lot. So yeah, if you see any of these things, or if you like have something that's not even listed, you're like, hey, maybe I can help out a lot with XYZ or whatever, optimization or something, email us, jobs@JangaFX.com. We want your resumes. And yeah, so yeah, that's about it. We'll see what people are saying in the chat. Not having a timeline means we're not saying anything about LiquiGen. So yeah, I don't know about 2022. That's the kind of the point. Oh yeah, our entire company is remote. We don't have an office. You can live anywhere you want in the world. So yeah. We are completely remote, and we pay well. And unlimited vacation if you ever want to take stuff off. My personal email is nick@jangafx.com if you want to reach out to me personally. Yeah, so that's everything. I don't have anything else. If you have any other questions or suggestions or whatever, tell us in our Discord server. You can go to JangaFX.com and scroll down on the homepage and see our Discord link if you do want to get into our Discord. And then other than that, you can also email me personally, but it might take a bit of time for me to respond to your emails because I have a lot that I'm catching up on, but I do try and respond to every email. So, yeah. Other than that, that's everything. Exciting times for 2022. A lot of stuff coming to EmberGen. Hopefully a lot of progress on LiquiGen. And a lot of progress as a company as a whole. We are growing. We are going to win. I want to win. And so we're going to create some pretty badass products. And we're going to make sure that these are the coolest tools you've ever used in your whole life. That is my plan. That's my goal. That's my vision. That's why I started all this, is because I want us to win. I want to be the best. And I want you to have the best tools at your disposal. I want your jobs to be easier for it, because I know that, like, some of you guys, make money from this, And even if it's, like, just a hobby for you, like, I want you to have, like, the most badass tools you can possibly have. And, like, in some ways, like, some things with EmberGen or whatever, they're kind of funky, kind of wonky, still in beta, maybe not the best, maybe fidelity isn't there for some things, whatever. We get it. We understand that, and we want to make it better. And so that's our commitment, is to making our tools better. Constant, never-ending improvement is kind of my personal motto. So, let's make sure that we kick ass on this. And 2022 is going to be dope. And thank you, everybody, for your support. If you've purchased licenses from us, your money is going to very good things, like LiquiGen, so we funnel those resources directly into projects like that. So, yeah, tell your friends about us. Share the word. 2022 is going to be our year here, so it's going to be awesome. And I appreciate all your support. So that is everything. Bye for now.